According to the trading connoisseurs who comment on the Wall Street Bets daily discussion post, once you're in this club of degenerates, there is no going back. Bombarded with daily posts of huge trades, you'll be enraptured by the desire to quickly turn your plebeian class portfolio into something worth screenshotting. And as we've seen many times, no matter how much someone makes, some people just can't walk away with a W. But is everyone's pullout game so atrocious? A particularly motivated character by the name of Farm Sales 1 puts my question to the test, and in doing so, shows us the meaning of diamond hands. It is my honor to share his story, that it may serve as both a warning and a cry for reason among those still living in La La Land. In his initial days at our beloved sub in early 2021, Farm Sales was much like every other newcomer to the Wall Street Bets party, posting rampantly about his pending millions from an imminent MOAS. As one who joined Wall Street Bets during the early 2021 shitstock craze, Farm Sales was a little too late for GameStop, but jumped at the litany of junk stocks that followed, with everyone thinking that their negative EPS stock was the next one to squeeze. Resultantly, he joined the cult of a generically named company called United Wholesale Mortgage, ticker UWMC, with a $38,000 purchase at over $11 per share. This took place on day one of the company's trading, after it completed its IPO via SPAC. The fresh post-SPAC then quickly lost 25% due to, quote, manipulation from unspecified whales, who sought to pummel this company straight out of the gate. However, Farm Boy remained bullish, in part because historically successful stock picker Jim Cramer recommended going long UWMC, which every experienced investor knows is a strong bearish signal. Further, Farm Sales predicted strong growth from the company and assessed that the stock hitting a new 52-week low on its 20th trading day was evidence that the bottom was in, and the time to double down was now. At the time, the company was indeed presenting strong income growth riding the 0% interest loan era, but failed to produce meaningful shareholder returns. Nonetheless, Farm Sales rode this post-SPAC wave down from $11, preaching an imminent pop to $60 per share, stating that he will not sell until the stock 6x's from its high, which it did not, instead being forced down by shadowy manipulative forces called shorts and hedgies that seem to really have it out for cut rate stocks. Over time, Farmer Bob's posts became increasingly unhinged as he declared outright war on the short sellers. Surely, these shorts would soon capitulate, as the stock going lower was an unmistakable sign that bullish impetus will come later. If you know anything about the Diamond Hands cults, there is no such thing as a MOAS getting cancelled, just delayed. In his mind, a short squeeze candidate dropping in value just means more time to load up on shares before the MOAS. And for 2 long years, Farmer John dumped money into this NPC mortgage company, making deposits and buying more shares as the stock slowly grinded down from $10 in the spring of 2021 to less than $4 in December 2022. By then, like a true sharecropper, our man was bag holding well over 25,000 shares with a total loss of $72,000. But now, in his darkest moment, it was time to finish the fight. The mayor of Farmville made one final purchase as the stock hunkered down in the sub $4 basement, topping him off at 29,000 shares. Then for 7 months, he went dark, pupating as the stock crumbled around him, waiting patiently for his MOAS. Until that day finally came. Sort of. We'll toss that salad in a minute. But first, I want to give some help to the poor Canadians who are still paying $10 in commissions per trade like it's the Stone Ages. You guys have been suffering the weight of expensive brokers for too long, and Moomoo is finally here to cut your costs. With $2 commissions, Moomoo is the cheapest way for Canadians to trade American stocks. And with free access to features like Level 2 data and pre-market and after-hours trading, Moomoo is redefining the standards for Canadian brokers. And don't sleep on Moomoo's social and gaming features. Enjoy free merch just for signing in, and look out for the relatively frequent real money giveaways during competitions. Hop on now and get this litany of advantages, plus a bonus of between $110 and over $1,500 with qualifying deposits. And my fellow Americans, here's up to 16 free shares for us too. Join with my referral in the description to qualify for the full reward. Now let's get back to the farm. On July 12, 2023, the farmer reappeared, flaunting a bulging $172,000 portfolio. UWMC had doubled up from a low of about $3 to almost $6. Thanks to his extensive buying as the stock cratered for 3 years, the big shot was now indemnified of his losses. But it was certainly not enough. According to farm sales, mortgage rates will soon drop, leading to a stronger housing market and better returns for UWMC investors. This clearly did not happen, as mortgage rates have since jumped to well over 7.5%. But nonetheless, the summer of 2023 was a great time to hold pretty much anything, including UWMC, which peaked at around $6.84 on August 7th. If we extrapolate Farmer's gains, he was about $30,000 in the green. The stock still had to reach $12.49. Apparently, $60 was off the table. But it would not be so. UWMC quickly gave up its gains, and by the end of August, was back at $5.50. It was around that time that Farmer Brown posted his enormous year-to-date return and a $205,000 portfolio. Claiming victory, he revealed that he sold everything to build a house and was met with congratulations from many Wall Street Bets fans. A true story for indemnity and a victory for Diamond Hands. Or was it? You notice how this is the only post where he doesn't show his actual position, just his account value? And how we only see the year-to-date chart? Do you wonder why that is? Let's zoom out a little bit. Farm Sales bought his first batch at IPO and continuously loaded up with at least 9 more purchases over the next 2 years. In July 2023, he reveals that his average price is $5.83. Then he boasts of his victory on Sunday, August 27th. Where was UWMC on Friday, August 25th? $5.55. To be fair, it does look like his portfolio spent a week or so completely flat. So let's be generous and say he sold a week prior on August 16th at around $5.82, which is strikingly similar to his average price of $5.83. What does that mean? It means our agricultural homie accomplished precisely nothing this entire time. His only profitable purchases were the few in 2022. And then, credit to him, he sold decently close to the top of a rally before the stock faded again. Nearly 3 years of bag holding, missing out on everything that happened since early 2021, only to finish flat. But what of this remarkable 100% gain on his year-to-date chart? That gain is just the recovery in UWMC stock. If we zoomed out to the full portfolio history, it would look like this instead. An almost perfect down and up, with a total gain of about $9,000. And I can prove that too. Look at his darkest hour chart from December 2022. He's got an $88,000 portfolio, which is down $72,000. His basis is therefore about $160,000. On a few more purchases in 2022 and 2023, he added about 3,100 shares and dropped his average price to $5.83. This implies he made purchases around $3, so we'll call it $10,000 even. So, he spent around $170,000 on 29,000 shares. This is in line with his July portfolio reveal. Meanwhile, UWMC pays about 40 cents per year in dividend. With 26,000 shares in 2022, he made about $10,400 that year. In 2021, his smaller share count gave him around $2,000. And in 2023, he'll miss the final quarter's dividend, so $7,800. In total, this puts him right around $20,000 in dividends. Of his alleged $205,000 portfolio, about $170,000 is deposits, and $20,000 is dividends. He might have therefore made $15,000 in capital gains in 3 years, and he still had to pay capital gains tax and tax on dividends. Qualified dividends are 15%, so take off $3,000 in taxes on dividend, and another $3,000 in long-term capital gains tax. That leaves $9,000. Congratulations, you bet the farm and you made $9,000 in gains over 3 years, while you watched mortgage rates climb from 2.5% to 7.5% before you decided to cash out and build a house. Your claims of success are based on lies by omission, and your arrogance against fellow degenerates is unwarranted. In fact, I'd venture to say your diamond hands on UWMC were a net loss for your finances. Let this takeaway be a lesson in finance to the Wall Street Bets degens. While in need of housing, he chose instead to buy shit stock, and as he's clearly and aggressively indicated that he's using a $400,000 loan for this new home construction, let's assume he's using his account balance as a down payment. The mortgage on a $400,000 loan will have increased by almost 50% to about $3,560 a month between 2021 and now. Over the life of the loan, this would have cost you about $663,000 in 2021, and in 2023, your new loan will cost you a whopping $1.1 million, an over $400,000 increase in costs in exchange for your $9,000 market gain. I declare the farmer's victory declaration faulty. At best, it is a Pyrrhic victory charged with maximum cope. But perhaps I'm being too hard on the farmer. After all, few people realized the value of our low-interest mortgages in 2021, and I kick myself for not buying up every piece of property I could. Perhaps it is unfair to fault Farmhand for essentially returning no gain over 3 years, when plenty of Wall Street Bets traders suffered the same portfolio devastation and then did not recover. Is this a warning against bag holding, in which cult stocks claim long-term victims who are unwilling to take an L and move on, in the process missing tons of opportunities along the way, while they eagerly await a win that might eventually come? Personally, I think this cuts both ways. I shame the farmer for buying into pump and dump hype and missing the chance to buy basically anything except bonds and do better than he did. I think he bought into groupthink in a UWMC echo chamber, which increasingly smoothed out his brain. And ultimately, I think he got lucky he sold on the spike. Otherwise, he'd still be red. But on the other hand, I think farmer sales demonstrates a kind of rehabilitation. Cult stocks are suffocating, and we still, to this day, see people on Bed Bath & Beyond subreddits coping with their losses, even though shares have legally been declared worthless with no prospect of recovery. Farm Sales at least chose a reasonable stock to buy into, and although he bag held, averaged down tactically, and most importantly, sold when the time was right for him. GameStop slobs, Bed Bath & Beyond tools, AMC apes, those guys will never sell. Even Bitcoin enthusiasts insult each other for selling their internet money for actual goods and services. But Farm Sales? He cut through the noise and cut sling load. Even at high interest rates that I think are here to stay, few investments will beat the value of owning a primary residence, and UWMC shares are not one of them. So do I think Farm Sales is a dipshit whose arrogance is completely unfounded? Yes. But do I think he's a bad trader? Also yes. But bad investor? Not necessarily, because he sold a shitty stock to buy a house, even if his timing sucked. My agricultural friend, it is with great honor that I ask you to take a seat at the table. I'm not giving you the crown of regards because your trading wasn't quite bad enough, nor will I give you the crown of kings because your trading was still pretty crappy, but I instead offer you, for the first time, a mediocre hat, and I'll still give you the soundbite.
Who wants to be king?
So, what do you guys think? Was Farm Sales dumb or dank? Join our free Discord via the link in the description, and don't forget to check out the channel for more videos just like this one.